Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have some more Colorado Rockies franchise on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Just in case you all missed the last episode, you might be wondering, why is there only like one episode a week? I work for a minor league baseball team and our season just started up. So that's why on the weeks that we have games, there might only be one episode. On the weeks that there's not any games, there might be more than one episode. I do want to keep this consistent. I want to keep it at minimum one episode a week just to kind of keep the content coming out. But just in case you missed the last episode, that is the explanation for it. We are at Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. It is the opening, not the opening day, it is opening day. And your Rockies are through spring training. I want to get through the rest of the preseason, get through spring training, and just get to here. Unfortunately, we did suffer a pretty substantial injury in spring training, which was upsetting. Rogelio Delgado partially tore his labrum, so he is going to be out for another 3 months, which is upsetting. We were really counting on him to be a big part of our rotation this year, and now we're not going to have him until, I guess, June or July, depending on when he gets back, and assuming he doesn't suffer any setbacks. So now we do have Josh James back in the starting rotation. I was going to keep him as a long relief bullpen guy, but now he's forced to be in the starting rotation, which, I mean, we have him signed for another couple of years at $9.8 million, so he might as well try to at least earn that kind of money, I suppose. So I guess that is kind of a positive. But other than that, team chemistry, we do have some guys on the right side this year in Yoshimitsu Mori, Aroldis Chapman, and even Rogelio Delgado is now outspoken. So he probably was outspoken before, I just didn't notice. So that is, as I said, I usually try to avoid guys on the right side here, but we're going to go with it this year and just hope that it's okay. We'll go through some comments here before we get any further. The Ohtani Robles deal was brutal, but I think it was the right move. This is a big trade I made in the last episode in case you missed it. It's the kind of deal you have to be prepared to make and takes guts to go through with. It's a shame you couldn't pick up even one prospect, though, but otherwise I think it was a good move. Rest of free agency was very solid. Love the Chacon pickup. His ratings look awesome. Hopefully Morgan can bounce back from his injury to be your ace. I learn something new with every episode. The Ohtani move for cash considerations was unusual, but a great tactical move. By the way, which team do you work for? I work for the Trenton Thunder. So that is the minor league team I work for. For those of you that don't know, they were affiliated with the Yankees, and then the Yankees decided not to be affiliated with them anymore, but the Thunder are actually hosting the Blue Jays AAA team this year, the Buffalo Bisons, because, of course, Toronto is going to be playing in Buffalo starting on June 1st. So the AAA team needed a place to play, and Trenton stepped up to the plate, and they are going to be hosting Buffalo this year, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. I already got to see Nate Pearson pitch on opening night last week, a week ago, which is really neat. I've seen Alek Manoah. He had a dominating first outing. I saw Rowdy Tellez. He had a really deep home run to center field, which was kind of cool to see that kind of power in a minor league park. So I've seen some cool guys already, which has been really cool. Any thoughts on implementing some rule changes for this MLB season? Example, universal DH 14-team postseason would be a great way to spice things up, I think. Yeah, so we do have the universal DH already. But yeah, there's definitely things I would consider. I think for a YouTube series, stuff like that, maybe it would make it more interesting. I do have, if we go to game settings, I do have league settings, rules. I do have, oh, no, options maybe. Yeah, I do have automatic evolution enabled. We really haven't had anything yet, and we're a few seasons in now. So I'm assuming we're going to get one of these things eventually. In my experiences, once you get to a certain point, you do kind of see one of these things happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I wouldn't be against changing things up a little bit to maybe make the series more interesting for sure. Because Maury has no major league service, you'll still have him after this year on a minimum contract. You'll have him under standard team control, but instead of 3 minimum, 3 ARB, it's 11 million, then 2 minimum, then 3 ARB. So I was basically saying that was a great comment by Dwight from The Office, Andrew Seaver. I was basically saying that this contract is basically just a 1-year contract, and it still basically is. I mean, we can still get him for cheaper if we want to bring him back, but this is really just, I wanted to get another lefty in the rotation, and it seemed like a relatively cheap way to do it because there's not a lot of great, easily available lefty starters at this point, at least in my save. So we got him. We got Maury. Hopefully he turns out to be okay. Fingers crossed. I think this was a good offseason. Smart use of money to spread it out among different players. We'll see how it all works out. 2 lefties in the rotation look like they could be solid additions. I think Tellez will be a good hitter in cores. Great defense at catcher. I almost said center in hockey mode. Great defense at catcher and center field. Should help the pitchers in a big way. Hopefully Soler mashes. That's the idea. I did make one other move during the preseason. I made a trade for Adrian Hauser with the Houston Astros. I just traded a minor league 26-year-old catcher, and I got Hauser just because he's a ground ball power pitcher. They had signed him to a minor league contract, so he's not really making a whole lot anyway. So I wanted to just get another arm. I was trying to get a closer type, back of the bullpen type piece. I couldn't really get any, especially after my owner cut my funding a little bit more than I was expecting. So we had to settle for Hauser. Hopefully it works out. You see Kyle Finnegan. He was also injured. He strained his oblique, so he'll be back in another couple of weeks. But for right now, we're going to be a little thin in the bullpen, but I think we'll be okay. This is the lineup that we're going with: Mondesi, Devers, Madrigal, Tellez, Soler, Chacon, Tapia, Sanchez, and Phillips. And we'll have Romo, Miranda, Holder, Burleson, and Stevenson on the bench. And in terms of the minor league system rankings, I think this would be a good thing to show. We are currently 5th. Delgado came into the season as the 8th ranked prospect, Chacon as the 10th ranked prospect, and we have Derek Hurriel as the 21st ranked prospect. This was the guy that we picked first overall in the draft last season. So it seems like he is looking pretty solid, definitely. We're going to have him up at low A this year. He just put together an okay season at rookie ball for, I guess he was 18 or 19 years old at the time. So we'll follow his development for sure. Hopefully he turns out to be pretty good, because this is what we need. It'd be nice to just have a nice cost-controllable center fielder that can hit the ball well, and it seems like Hurriel could be that guy. So hopefully he develops as I'm hoping. But I think that is about that. We'll take a look at the preseason predictions here, as we always do. We are projected to go 82-80, so the goal is to play 500 baseball. That's what our owner is expecting out of us, and this would obviously meet that quota. We're supposed to score 786 runs, allow 802. We are supposed to have one of the top 10 hitters in the National League in Jorge Soler. He's expected to hit 41 home runs, drive in 103 runs, and have a triple slash line of 261, 347, 516. We are not supposed to have any of the top 10 pitchers. It seems like Shane Bieber went to the Cardinals. That was one of the big guys on the free agent market this past offseason. We'll take a look here at the American League here. Wow, it looks like it's going to be really weak. It seems like the entire league is going to be really weak this year. There's only one team that's expected to win more than 95 games, and it's the Mets at 96 and 66. The Dodgers are supposed to go 85 and 77. Wow. What happened to the Dodgers? That's so they have Wilman Diaz now as their starting leadoff shortstop. That's a little weird. They still have Bellinger. They still have Lux, Will Smith. Justin Yurchak is now their starting first baseman. Mookie Betts is still there. He's batting 6th. DJ Peters, Nick Maton, Philly, and I guess they traded him to the Dodgers for what exactly? I'm kind of interested. Jaron Kendall. I mean, he's probably better than the center field options they currently have, both in real life and in this save. Miguel Vargas. The rotation isn't as good as it was. Dustin May, Julio Urias, Kershaw at this point is 37. He had a really bad year last season. Bobby Miller and Dalton Jeffries. Bullpen looks pretty solid, but that's the Dodgers. The Padres are supposed to win the division in 91 and 71. So they still have Trent Grisham. They still have Fernando Tatis Jr., Bryson Stott, who they got from the Phillies. Yeah, I mean, the rotation looks really good with Gore, Weathers, Lawson, Nix. Bullpen looks pretty good. So this, yeah, it makes sense why they would be projected to win the division. We have us. The Giants are projected to go 80 and 82, so kind of close to us. Drew Jones is their starting center fielder. He put together a pretty solid season last year, an 800 OPS. He was a 2-win player, really good defensively. So that's pretty cool. Joey Bart, starting catcher. He's had a pretty good start to his career so far. He was a 4.5-win player basically in 2022. Dropped off a little bit in 2023. Last year was not his best season. He really dropped off, but I'm sure he'll get back, making $11 million this year. Wow. Now they still have Jose Abreu, J.P. Crawford. This is their starting rotation. They have 35-year-old Patrick Corbin, who is fragile. They signed him to, what is this, a 1-year deal worth $9 million. That's fair. take a risk on him, see if it works out. Tony Gonsolin is their closer. That's odd. Okay. So there's the Giants. Then we have the Diamondbacks projected to go 69 and 93. They still have a lot of the same hitters. You still have Corbin Carroll, Pavin Smith, Seth Beer, Dalton Varsho is still there. Spencer Howard is still their ace starting pitcher. Zach Godley is there again. I guess his second tour of duty with the Diamondbacks at this point. Luke Weaver is now a long reliever. Yeah, the Diamondbacks don't look super, super great. So that's what we're dealing with in the National League West. I'd hazard to say that this isn't the strongest division we've ever been a part of during this save. Like, if we were ever going to make a run, it seems like this would have to be the year. It seems like all the teams in general this year are supposed to be, like, not very good. Like, the Rays are supposed to win in the division to 86 and 76. The Angels are supposed to win in the division to 88 and 74. The Pirates are supposed to win the NL Central at 88 and 74. So it seems like some of these division races will be competitive, but I don't know. We'll see. That's actually kind of interesting. So we'll simulate ahead as we always do. We start the season with a 4-game set against the Padres. Then we got the Giants, the Cardinals, the Angels, the Marlins, the Cardinals again, the Mets, and we end the month and enter... Oh, nope, we just end the month with the Padres. So we'll come back here on May 1st with the start of a brand new 4-game set against the Giants. Fingers crossed that we can get off to a strong start this year. That was the issue last year. We had that 6-18 skid early on in the season, and that did end up hurting us in terms of why we didn't make the playoffs. So let's just hope for a stronger start this year. We don't have to light the world on fire. Just nice, consistent start. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, we've reached May 1st. The Rockies are 10 and 14, 6 games back in the NL West, 3 games out in the wild card. We suffered another pretty substantial injury. Aroldis Chapman, who we signed to be a big part of our bullpen, suffered from shoulder inflammation, so he is going to be out for another 3 months until, I guess, July or August. Which is a shame because now our bullpen is certainly not as strong as I wanted it to be. You can see that these guys are not doing very well. In fact, the entire team isn't really doing very well. I made a coaching staff move. I got a new hitting coach because our offense has just been really, really bad. It's like way worse than it should be, I feel like. So I hired a new hitting coach, I guess, a couple days ago in the game. I think he signed on the April 27th or 28th. And that hitting coach that I got was Joey DeMonte. He is better at teaching hitting. I think his development rating was better. The mechanics are either better or the same. You can see that we've been, offensively, it's a very small sample size, but we've been better so far than we were under the old hitting coach. So hopefully this helps a little bit. His relationships are also a lot better than the old guy, which I guess is good. So we'll see if that does make any type of difference. We did just take both of the games from the Padres. Surprisingly, I was not expecting that. But you can see that our offense, it just really wasn't getting it done. You could see that we scored 2 runs, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3. Like that's not. I knew the offense was probably going to be a little weaker this year, but I need more out of that, especially for a team like Colorado, where offense really should not be that much of an issue. So hopefully that makes a difference. But you can see our lineup just has been really, really bad this year. Devers has been a bright spot. Chacon has been a really good bright spot. His batting average isn't very high, but for his first year in the majors, he's doing pretty well. I mean, Devers already is close to a 2-win player, so he's right down the MVP conversation. 7 home runs in the first month of the season, 18 runs batted in, 8 walks to 20 strikeouts. Soler has been okay. He's second on the team with 5 home runs. OPS, it was above 800 there for a little bit. Now it's down to 797. I'm not too concerned. He's actually stolen a base, which is neat. Tapia, of course, he's not a slugger, but he's batting over 300 with a 340 OBP. Can't be too upset about that. Madrigal has been a really big disappointment. After last year when he had an OPS of 885, 2023, he had an OPS with us of 991. This year it's down to 626. Now his BABIP is abnormally low, so hopefully that kind of rectifies itself as the season goes on, but for a guy batting in the top third of our order, that's not what we needed. Brett Phillips, I expected him to be pretty bad offensively, and he has a positive zone rating so far this year, which I guess is a positive. We'll see what that's like as the season goes on. 972 fielding percentage, but I mean it could just be an issue of a small sample size. 44.9% strikeout rate for Brett Phillips. That's That's not great, but it's what I expected. A three true outcome type of player. He does have 3 home runs, which is, well, that'd be tied for fourth on, or just fourth alone on the team. Mondesi has been really bad this year. It looked like he was starting to get it together, and then he just dropped off again. He did just have a 3 for 5 performance, which bumped his OPS up by, what would that be, like 60 points, almost 70 points. So hopefully he starts to turn it around. Tellez has been disappointing. He only has 1 home run, and he's OPSing at 479. He's been a negative one win player. There we go, which has been really upsetting. I thought he would be doing a lot better. I dropped him down in the lineup to see if that would maybe help him out a little bit, and it just hasn't. Ali Sanchez, I got him because I thought he would be better offensively, and he hasn't. So some of the moves that I made have not worked out, but yet it seems like we're pretty lucky to be 10-14. Pitching-wise, Morjan has done exactly what I needed him to do for the most part. You can see that he started 5 games, a 3.21 ERA, a 3.83 FIP. He's been close to a 1-win pitcher. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings in his last start against the Mets. Going down here, Josh James has been pretty solid. The FIP is 4.57, but he's found some ways to get around that to put up a 4.13 earned run average. Batters are hitting a $190 off of him. Maury, right now in his first season, he started off a little rough. He's since kind of gotten his confidence going a little bit. He had that good start at Miami. He struggled against the Cardinals, but he just threw 8 1/3 innings of shutout ball against the Padres. He allowed 6 hits, 11 strikeouts to just 1 walk. So hopefully he can keep doing that. That would be great. Jack Leiter has struggled a lot. He hasn't really been able to get his footing so far. He had this good start right here against the Marlins. I mean, that wasn't even really that good because he had 4 walks. So that's been really upsetting. I really hope I don't have to trade Jack Leiter. That was the first draft pick, of course, we ever made. I really wanted to work out with him here in Colorado, but we might need to explore trading him while his value is high because I need more out of him than we're getting. He did pretty good there in 2023. It gave me some reasons for optimism. Even last year, a 4.23 FIP. His FIP this year is 4.12, so maybe we should just be patient and just hope he gets it together. Michael King at the back of the rotation. He's been eating innings. He's been okay. A 4.37 ERA, a 4.61 FIP for my number 5 starter. Can't be too upset. But the bullpen has been really the biggest disappointment. In fact, I'm almost tempted to make Ryan Feltner, put him in a bigger role and just go without a long relief guy, just because it seems like that might be the way to go. Feltner's been really, really good so far. He hasn't allowed any run. Well, he's allowed 2 runs. None of them were earned. But Fox's FIP is 7.12, so he's been really, really bad this year. Rogers, we signed him in free agency this past offseason. He's been okay. I guess I can't really expect too much. A 4.19 FIP, I guess, isn't too bad. Adrian Hauser, remember we traded for him. His ERA is 7.63, but his FIP is 3.09, which would maybe give me some reasons for optimism. Kyle Finnegan has probably been one of our better relief pitchers, albeit he's only pitched 4 1/3 innings. Raymels Rosa has been not super great. He's been getting lit up a little bit recently. Tommy Doyle has been okay, I suppose, at 3.85 FIP. So maybe we just need to give it a little bit more time. Hope these guys get together. Hope the hitting coach helps the offense out a little bit. Taking a look here at the upcoming schedule, we have 4 games against the Giants, who right now are dead last, just a game behind us in the NL West. We have 3 games against the Braves, 3 games against the Phillies, 4 more games against the Braves, 3 against the Marlins, 4 against the Diamondbacks, who, that's not right now, are 3rd in the NL West at 13-12, so they are above 500. 3 against the Giants, 2 against the Dodgers, and then we end the month of May and go into June with 4 games against the Brewers. So I'll come back on June 2nd. Hopefully the team, fingers crossed, is doing a little better, I should say. As I said, the goal is just to play 500 ball, and we're kind of around that mark, but I'm obviously hoping for a little more. So fingers crossed, we got through April at 10-14. Let's hopefully get above 500 here in May. All right, it is June 2nd. We had a really bad month of May. We won the same amount of games. We lost 5 more, went 10-19 on the month. The offensive issues seemingly sorted themselves out. We're now tied for 4th in runs scored, 4th in batting average, 4th in OBP, 3rd in OPS, 3rd in WOBA, 8th in home runs, but 3rd in stolen bases. The pitching staff has just been really, really bad. I did not expect it to be this bad. Josh James has been awful. a FIP of 6.05. He just has not been able to get it together. He's been a major, major Achilles heel for us that we haven't been able to get over. Maury has not done as well as I would have liked him to. I don't know what I expected, but I'm glad that we only have him for 1 year. Leiter has, I mean, I really expected more. I'm assuming part of it is because he's a fly ball pitcher, but I mean, he just really has not been as good as I would have liked him to have been. He's allowing close to 11 hits per 9 innings. His 19% strikeout rate isn't as high as I would like it to be. Michael King really struggled there in the month of May. His ERA has shot up. His FIP is still okay, and the bullpen is just. I mean, there's some good guys. There's some not so good guys. Taylor Rogers has proven not to be a very good signing. Adrian Hauser, his FIP is still really low, but it's not really reflecting in how he's pitching. Mason Fox turned it around. I guess that's a positive. As I said, the offense turned itself around. Like you can see, we had a lot of shootouts in May, like 11-10 win, 10-9 loss, 11-10 win, 8-6 win. So like we're scoring runs now. It's just the pitching staff is really not helping us, which is kind of upsetting. I'm kind of at a loss at this point. I don't really know what we can do. Team chemistry right now, it's content. So it says the clubhouse is still holding it together. The staff cohesion is ecstatic. So, I mean, those aren't really the issues. It's just the pitching staff has really been difficult to overcome. Not having Delgado has been rough. It would have prevented us from having to put Josh James in the rotation. So maybe that's worth a couple wins at least right there. Not having Chapman in the bullpen, I'm sure, has hurt a little bit. I'm just not too sure where to go from here. I don't know if giving Conine another opportunity in the rotation is worth it. He's been okay down in AAA, 3.65 ERA, 22 strikeouts to 13 walks is pretty ugly. So yeah, it's been rough going. We'll take a look here at the trading block, see if there's anybody on there. All players, it's just mainly bullpen pieces right now. I mean, Brian Garcia is a fly ball pitcher, so that's probably not worth it. Yeah, there's not really a ton of great options. Trevor Story's available. Let's check in on Trevor Story. We haven't checked in on him since he was with Milwaukee. So in 2022, when he got to the Astros full-time, he really has not been very good. I mean, well, he was a 4-win player in 2022. Offensively, he wasn't super great. I guess it's just the defense that's helping him out there a little bit. Yeah, he has not lived up to what we thought. Like, I would not want to pay this guy $30 million a year, so I'm glad we dodged that bullet. I guess that's a positive that we can be happy about. How much longer is he? It's only this year and next year, but man, he has not been good at all. Yikes. So that's a good thing that we missed out on that. Yeah, I don't know really where to go from here. I think I really don't. It's just the pitching at this point, I guess, is the issue. And I mean, we keep churning through pitchers. It's not very good. I thought maybe the way to go would be, solid stuff and good defense behind them. Try to make sure they're not fly ball pitchers, neutral or ground ball, power pitchers. Maybe I should start looking into like higher movement and higher control and not worry so much about the stuff. Not too sure. That might be something that we experiment with. But Ali Sanchez has gotten better, which is good. So that's promising to see. Yeah, I think it's just we have to find some. If we had good pitching, I think we'd be fine. It's always the story with this team. Like right now, like we're 15th in runs against, 15th in starters ERA, 14th in bullpen ERA, 13th in FIP, 9th in pitching WAR. It's just it's just we have not been very good. The zone rating is negative 16.7. That's not very good. So defensively, I guess we haven't been super great, which I thought that we would be okay. I mean, we have good defensive catcher. Tellez has not been, has he been like real? He has a negative 2.6 zone rating, but he's at first base. Like I can't imagine that would be the issue. Madrigal hasn't been super great at second base, which is a little surprising. Devers has struggled a little bit defensively at third. Yeah, I guess defensively maybe. Mondesi has been good defensively, but yeah, I guess a lot of these guys just haven't been super good. Chacon has struggled in right field, it seems like. Tapia has he's been okay, not great. How's Phillips been? Even Phillips has a negative zone rating, which is upsetting to see. I got him for his defense. I don't know. I don't know. I guess defensively we're hurting our pitchers a lot more than I thought we would. I thought we had something good going defensively, but it seems like Mondesi is really the only positive at this point. But I don't know. We will. I guess if you guys have any opinions, always welcome them. The assistant GMs of the YouTube community. I don't really know where to go from here. I don't know if it's just one of those things we have to be patient and hope for the best, or if there's moves we have to make. I don't know. But I get Devers, MVP conversation. There's a positive. He's still OPSing over 1,000, 1.126, 15 home runs. So that's been a bright spot. If we can just get the rest of the team. Wait, whoa. He's fragile too? When did that happen? I don't know when he became fragile. That's upsetting, especially because we have him for this long contract. But okay, whatever. I think this is a good spot to end. 21-33 through 2 months. Want to thank y'all for watching this episode. Catch you guys again next time. Hopefully, we'll be able to take a big step forward in the next episode. Fingers crossed. Thank you for all the support. Over 500 subs, which is crazy to me. Never would have expected that, but I want to thank y'all for that. And I'll catch you guys again next time. Thank you for watching.